Good afternoon. Today we have the Executive Vice President of ACME, Mr. Arnava Sinha, to have a quick chat with us. It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
So, first of all, we would love to know what has been at the top of your mind right now as the Executive VP at ACME.
Okay. There are a few things, but I think nothing that comes before offtake of green hydrogen, right? Uh, the green hydrogen journey, the world has been through quite a bit over the last 4 or 5 years, uh, and we are beginning to see traction in terms of end use of hydrogen being accepted, being embraced by those end users. And yet, I don't think we have hit the pace that we needed to in order to reach the targets set for 2030, for example, whether it's in India or internationally. In fact, internationally, even less so than in India. And that's one thing that is at the top of our mind. Um, what we've been doing is we've been trying to work with different end users and different players who would use green hydrogen either immediately or in a near-term future. And our job then would be to provide them with that solution of green hydrogen in a hydrogen form or in any other derivative form, whether it's ammonia or methanol or any other form, at a price level and at a level of reliability that they needed, right? So there are many things that would have to come together for that. That overall solution or the package that we can prepare for our customers to be able to reach their goal, not just in terms of decarbonization, but also in terms of business continuity, in terms of reaching the commercial level that they aspire to. So that's probably the first and foremost thing in my mind.
And how do you think the current market conditions are shaping your priorities?
I think the current market conditions, in fact, if I may say, the market conditions have remained uncertain for quite some time now. It won't be an exaggeration to say that we have been living in a VUCA kind of an environment for a very long time, and it seems to be persisting, probably beyond a comfortable level. And yet there are players, ACME included, who are absolutely committed to driving the path forward to reach where green hydrogen becomes not just an energy transition, because we talk about energy transition quite a bit, and that probably adds to the uncertainty in a way, because it kind of becomes a conflicting word. It shouldn't be, but it does, because when we talk about energy transition, it basically means that somebody is losing and somebody is gaining, and that has added to the uncertainty in the market. The word that I would normally use in this case is an energy integration, where hydrogen or green hydrogen in particular can get integrated into the overall energy mix, which by the way has been increasing, or the demand has been increasing day by day, right? So the current market conditions are such that there are players who have already taken the decision, whether because there is a regulatory push or because they have their own decarbonization goals, including net zero goals of 2040, 2050 or beyond, but they want to create a pathway that will be helpful for them to reach there. And yet, on the flip side, we are not seeing enough of attraction, because in the absence of a very clear regulatory picture, uncertainties remain as to what volume, to what extent, how much percentage, etc. And I think that's a prevailing condition we probably have to live with for a little bit more until we see some clarity on the European front especially. We are beginning to see far more clarity in Asia. For example, Japan has created a roadmap, and we understand what that roadmap is. That needs Japan to procure clean fuels, right? Whether it's clean ammonia, clean hydrogen, or any other derivative of it. They want to diversify. They have a very definite roadmap as to how to achieve it. That helps. Well, it has been slow, but it's definitely certain in moving forward. In India also, we are seeing that traction now. For a very long time, there was a little bit of an absence in terms of the demand side push from the government. I think that got changed to a great extent, actually, with the green fertilizer aggregator tender that the government of India through SECI that they floated last year. And I think that has created an ecosystem of realism, in the sense that yes, green ammonia can actually be procured from within the country at a price point which, if you levelize that cost over a 15-year period or a 10-year period, you would see that it has already achieved parity with gray ammonia. And that's wonderful news, because that should then be the catalyst in moving that market forward. I do believe that right now the market or the acceptance of green molecules is more a commercial factor rather than an ideological factor, right? So people understand decarbonization, but that decarbonization can only happen if there is a commercial viability, not in some distant future, but preferably right now, if not then over a finite period of time. Yeah?
Okay.
And ACME, what we strive to achieve is just that we are able to provide the solution to our customers at a price elasticity which is within what they are looking at.
And within the near term, do you see any opportunities coming up?
Yeah, I think there are plenty. We have seen, of course, the fertilizer tender in India. In just one shot, we were able to replace at 25% of the imported grey ammonia into the country. So that's a very big volume. What it has done is that it has created more market traction toward such acceptance in the refineries. In other sectors, we've heard that there is a green methanol tender being considered by the government of India. It'll be great news if and when that happens. And this is domestically in India. In Europe, there are certain uncertainties which still persist in terms of CBAM acceptance, in terms of RFNBO being transposed by the individual member states, but we are seeing good news there. Germany has more or less done it already. France, as we hear, is also beginning to put that in practice, and probably some of the other nations, important nations in the green hydrogen business, such as Belgium, would also follow a similar discourse. So this would create that demand for green hydrogen or its derivatives. And in the near term, probably Japan's LTDA program, the long-term decarbonization auction program, is one of the options that many Indian hydrogen developers are looking at. It will also pave the way for Indian companies to actually partner with Japanese counterparts and provide a solution that is fit for purpose for Japan.
And finally, what advice would you offer your peers navigating similar challenges as ACME?
I think there has been a hope hype cycle, gloom and doom, and everything has happened over the last few years. There is, in a way, a thought process that, well, maybe green hydrogen is not everyone's cup of tea. Yeah, and that is probably true. It is not everyone's cup of tea, but there are players who are absolutely serious about it, committed towards it, both on the supply side, the producers, as well as on the receiving side, the users. And my advice would be that let's keep going. It's not a 100-meter sprint. It's a marathon. We're talking about energy transition. We're talking about the primary energy mix being altered in a way that there is a new fuel that is coming into the system. How many times has it happened in the human civilization? 4 times. This is the 5th time that is going to have to happen. It will take time, but I think if we see the momentum that has happened over the last few years, and if we compare with the other such energy changes that had happened in the past, we are already at a pace which is far higher than human civilization has ever known. So I'm very optimistic that the path toward the future is pretty bright. One last thing that I would say is that it will happen, and it will happen at a price or a cost that will be acceptable in the short and the long run. We need to keep going at it and not give up. We need to have the right regulatory formulations, the policies in place, which I'm sure government is doing. Now for the players, the developers, it's not the time to throw in the towel. It's the time to actually ramp up and start working on it.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful insights, and enjoy the rest of your India Energy Week.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.